Let me now introduce you to the 5 R's. They are reignite or renew your passion for your current job. Secondly, redirect or change to another role, either in the same company or elsewhere. Thirdly, reinvent or start something new on your own, like entrepreneurship, freelancing, or a portfolio career. Fourthly, reduce or shift to part-time or fractional work. And 5, recharge or take a career break to rest, reflect, and reset. Now let's explore each of these in detail. Firstly, reignite. When you want more than you're getting now, sometimes the answer isn't about leaving. Sometimes the answer is to reignite what first drew you to your current role. Maybe you once loved your job, but lost motivation. Or maybe the day-to-day grind has drowned you and drowned your purpose that you once felt. So why choose this path? Because the core of your role still aligns with your values and strengths. And you see potential for growth where you are, and you can actually spark new energy. The path can be suitable as it brings, first of all, no drastic change, and you build on existing reputation, knowledge, and relationship. You can grow in place by taking on new projects, learning new skills, or exploring internal mobility. However, it might only be a temporary move, and the deeper issues aren't addressed. You need internal motivation and support from your leadership. And if the culture is stagnant, change can be very hard. So how do you think about this option? You can consider these questions. Firstly, which part of your role once energized you that can be repeated? Secondly, can job crafting or reshaping your responsibilities rekindle that energy? And thirdly, is your manager open to growth conversations? Sometimes the spark is still there in you. It just needs some oxygen. Secondly, redirect. Sometimes you may realize that you have outgrown your current role, team, or even industry, and you want something new, something more aligned with your evolving values and goals. You may consider this path if you've developed skills that can be transferred elsewhere, you want a fresh challenge or pivot that brings you closer to your long-term goals, or you may find the path suitable because it opens up new learnings and growth opportunities for you. It can also increase engagement and satisfaction, and it helps you align work with the lifestyle and your interest. However, you do note that, first of all, job searches takes time and energy, and you may need to reskill and upskill, and transitions can bring both financial and emotional stress. If you're considering this option, here are some questions to reconsider. Firstly, are there any transferable skills you have? Secondly, how strong is your professional network that can help you with your stretch? And thirdly, what are trade-offs that you're willing to take for better alignment? Redirecting is about movement. It's about finding the right seat on the right bus rather than staying stuck in the wrong one. Now let's talk about the boldest move yet, reinvention. That's when you decide, well, I've enough of corporate world. I want to create something of my own. This is in fact the path I took a few years ago. Reinvention could mean launching a new business, doing consulting or freelancing work, or building a portfolio career that brings together both your talents and your interests. So why choose this path? Well, maybe because you're drawn to autonomy, creativity, and impact. Or you're ready to define success in your own terms. The positive thing about this path is, firstly, you have full control over what you do, how you work, and who you work with. Secondly, you can align your work deeply with your passion and purpose. And thirdly, you can create diversify income streams in accordance to the value you bring to others. However, this path can also lead to financial insecurity, especially in the early stages, and therefore you need resilience, discipline, and entrepreneurial skills. And it can feel isolating without a strong support system. So here are some considerations. Firstly, have a clear offering and audience. Secondly, ask yourself, are you financially prepared to weather through the startup phase? And thirdly, are you driven more by freedom and impact than by stability? But do remember, reinvention isn't for everyone, but for some, it's the most liberating path of all. Or maybe you don't want to stop working, but you also don't want to keep going at the same pace. Then welcome to the path of our next R, reduce, or moving to part-time, flexible, or fractional work. You choose the path if, first of all, you enjoy your profession, but want more balance. Secondly, you want time to pursue other things such as family, caregiving, hobbies, or personal growth. The good thing about reduce is that you have more time for life outside work. You still keep an income and your professional identity. It can prevent burnout and improve well-being. But this path can also lead to reduced income and benefits, setting back of career visibility and progression. And at the same time, not all organizations support this flexible arrangement. So here are the questions to consider. Firstly, can your role be redesigned for part-time or fractional work? Secondly, will reduced hours really make sense for you? And thirdly, how you will use your extra time meaningfully. Reducing is about balance, about creating space for things that truly matter. And finally, there's recharge. This path is for those who are simply exhausted, physically or mentally, and emotionally. Or for those who sense it's time to pause before stepping into something else. You choose this path when you need to have a deep and important rest and recovery. Or you want to reflect, reset, and explore without work pressure. Recharge allows you to truly recover from burnout. And you have time for self-discovery and space to upskill and explore new interests. However, do know the financial trade-offs. You may lose momentum or visibility in your organization or industry. Or employers may question your reason for the break if it's not framed well. And so here are the questions to reflect on. Firstly, how will you structure your time? Do you have financial runway to step away? And what support system will help you transition back? Do note that recharging is not withdrawal. It's intentional rest or taking a strategic pause that can prepare you for your strongest chapter yet. Now that you've heard the 5 R's, the natural question is, so which one is right for me? And here's my advice. Don't rush. This isn't a race. Importantly, notice your energy. As I described each R, which one made you feel lighter? And which one gave you more hope? And also be honest about your circumstances. What's your financial runway? Where's your support system? And what's your appetite for risk? And remember, the R's aren't rigid. They're not one-way doors, and you can start with one and later move to another. The most important thing is alignment. Choosing the path that aligns with who you really are and who you want to be. So in this video, we explored the 5 R's of career change: reignite, redirect, reinvent, reduce, and recharge. Each path is valid, and each path has its trade-off, and each one could be the start of your next play. But here's the thing, knowing your options is only the beginning. The real question is, how do you move from where you already are today to where your next phase you have chosen? I'll introduce you to the 3 phases of a transition, a roadmap that helps you navigate the uncertainties, emotions, and practicalities of change. So stay tuned, because if this video was about what's possible, the next video is about how to get there. Thank you for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.